Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray, and we're on Just Plain Living today.
Good morning. I'm Peggy Burton.
And I'm Jim Fuller, and we're all just plain living.
Yeah, we are.
I'd say
my nose is just plain
barely.
itching.
Sometimes it's
Just
the way
barely?
I feel. Just barely, yeah.
Summer's almost over, though, isn't it?
Honestly,
yeah, it's hard
you
to
know,
imagine.
the pool's getting leaves, getting
Yeah.
hard to clean up. I found my snake again in the pool.
Did
I
you?
think it's the same snake. I've freed that snake twice, but he's a dead man now.
Is he?
3 times was enough.
Well, maybe he's practicing
He
for
was
the
a cute little thing.
2020
It's just about like
Olympics.
this. And, you know, I just...
You kind of live out in the woods, though. That
dip him
might
out
be a
and throw him over
copperhead
the
or something.
fence.
Was he doing the backstroke or the breaststroke?
I think a little of both.
A little both. He's just trying to stay in shape.
I hate to
Peggy.
kill him. Yeah, I hate to kill him.
You killed him anyway.
I killed him anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought, I've had it with you.
Chief,
Anyway.
we've got a vicious criminal over here.
She's in Franklin County.
Oh, she's in
Oh, that's
Franklin
right.
County. That'll make
It's
you-
okay.
However, Peggy, do you know that it's against the law to kill a snake in the state of Tennessee?
I do know that.
Oh, okay.
And I don't really go out, you know, pursuing a snake.
It wasn't premeditated. in
It
other
was
words.
not premeditated.
Well, that
it was,
might- yeah, okay,
It was
well, that
just, I don't know how a snake lives in chlorine. That little thing, I've tried to hold him under the water. I've done everything you can imagine to get
kill
rid
him.
of that snake. You can do a mole that way. You can hold him under the water, and he'll finally die. And that's kind of sad, too. I mean, you know, but you can't have moles all over the place. But this snake would not die. So I set him free twice. Then he crawls back in there. Anyway, that's my snake
Did you take
story.
a hoe to his head?
I didn't-
shovel?
There's not a hoe at my house.
You don't hoe your garden anymore.
Are we on the same page?
Nah.
Well,
I don't
yeah,
think so.
Well, yeah, a lot of things are running through my mind right
Yeah.
now. However, none of them are really appropriate to say this morning.
Right,
so,
let's just leave it alone.
yeah,
Leave it right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop that.
Olympics are over.
Yeah.
United States of America did an exceptional
They
job.
really did. They did.
Incredible job. Now, do you know what's going to happen?
Yes, it's going to be football. Is that what
It's
you're
going to
thinking?
be politicians. All that time that
All
the
the way,
Olympics
yeah.
took up, you know, we just didn't hear that much about
That was kind of
politics.
You know,
nice,
you're right
wasn't it?
about
Yeah.
that, John. You're absolutely right about
And
that.
now, hopefully, football will take that time up. Because I certainly don't want to listen to 2 more months or how many more days?
It's about
is it
85,
now?
83, 84 days.
I wanna listen to all that
you
for
know,
80 days.
I'm sure a lot of people are burnt out on that as well because this has been going on for a while already, and it's a while left.
Well,
to go.
just like we were talking last night, if you're an A or a B, there's nothing an A can do to convince a B to be an A or opposite.
That's true.
You already know, most people already know. What do you think the actual true percentage of truly undecided people?
I'd say less than 5%.
Less than
Probably.
5%.
Probably.
Yeah. But,
People already know
Most
what they're
people
doing.
made
Yeah.
up their minds.
you know, and if you're a political junkie that you focus on that all the time, sometimes you lose sight of the fact, I think, that a vast majority of the population out there doesn't really focus
Doesn't
on
vote. Well, don't vote.
it. Well, number one, they
Well,
don't
you know,
vote,
there-
and they don't
there's-
care.
What's the
There's a bunch of people that go on looks. Okay, he's good looking or she's pretty or that's all they go on. And then there's some people that dig into the facts. I think that I'm one of those people.
Yeah, but
I
those
try
are
real
few.
hard to.
Those are few.
Yeah. I
The
think you're
percentage
right.
there, I think, is
Oh, yeah.
small.
Yeah, you're
Most
right.
people, that's why money makes so much difference, is because it's how many times your picture can be on television.
Right.
Most people, a lot of people are going to say, oh, yeah, I know who that is. Some of them don't even know who they are.
Exactly.
They go in, it's a name recognition. Oh, I know Donald Trump, or oh, I know Hillary Clinton. I know that name. They have no idea what they stand for,
Oh,
what they're all
Yeah.
about.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know.
You know,
It's a shame that it's that way.
Yeah, it is, and you know, you got to really want it to go after it on that level.
Yeah,
I've
you
got to
really
say,
do.
you know, because anything you've ever done your entire
But
life
I would
will become
encourage
public
everybody
knowledge.
to vote.
Yeah.
Try to make a sensible decision
Yeah.
and vote.
Yes,
And,
we all need to do that. 'cause
I'm
it's a
always
very
amazed
important time.
at people on. I'm sure you guys have seen it, but on Facebook going back to what you just said, you can't convince anybody that, you know.
And you can't believe any of
people
that
get in
stuff.
big time arguments over that on Facebook, and I think
not
everybody
worth
ought
it,
to
yeah.
be able to have their opinion.
Anybody
but they get
could-
mad at each other,
exactly,
unfriend
yeah.
each other, and you should know going in that you cannot change their mind.
That's just like Alabama fan
Especially
and the Tennessee fan.
Yeah.
Sure.
Ain't nothing you can do about it.
That's why, you know, in ordinary conversation with people that I don't know very well, I don't discuss religion or politics.
Me either.
Leave it alone.
Yeah, me either.
Because I certainly am opinionated, but I don't have
Well, and
to
everybody
share it with
needs
the
to have
world all
their
the time.
opinion.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know, just like we were saying, there's more than one way to get there. You know,
That's true.
there's more than one way to get there, no matter what you're searching for.
Exactly.
There's numerous ways
numerous
to get there. You can get
ways.
to Nashville about 40 different ways from here.
Yeah.
Some of them take a little bit longer, some of them a little more fun because they're more picturesque. You can stop at a different restaurant on the way. If you're in a hurry, there's another way to get there. Might get in a wreck on the way.
Ooh.
You
I don't
know,
wanna
so
think
there's
about
all
it.
kinds of different ways to get where you're going. The thing is, just like Chief said, do something. Be going somewhere. Don't don't be going nowhere.
and make a decision.
Yeah.
You know, many times there's a decision to make, and some people are just procrastinate. Make up your mind
Yeah,
and vote, or not vote. Just do it.
yeah.
Do you procrastinate?
In certain things, I do.
Like buying Christmas presents. John goes Christmas shopping on Christmas
I
Eve.
hate that.
I usually operate pretty well under pressure. A lot of people
Yeah, you
don't
do.
do that. And matter of fact, it's kind of fun for me to see how tight you can get and then work your way out of it.
It's kind of like we used to have to operate that way, unfortunately, in the restaurant and bar
Oh,
business.
yeah.
But you know, if it's not a crisis yet, let's don't worry
It's
too
not-
much.
don't worry about it. When
just
it's
yet.
crisis mode, you're gonna do it.
Yeah,
Don't
when it
borrow
gets to be a
trouble.
crisis, that's when we'll worry about.
You know, don't borrow
Oh
trouble.
my gosh!
Don't worry about
I can't
trouble.
tell you how many nights I'd stay up all night because I had a paper due the next day. Did you do that? Like in college, you know, I'd have some
I just
big
didn't
paper
turn
due.
it in.
Well, I did turn it in, but I could do it overnight.
I
if
still
I had to.
have, and I was talking with somebody the other day, and it's kind of funny because you wouldn't think so, because they were the same thing. You wake up, you go, I hadn't been to that class in 2 months. I better go. You go. It's the day of the final. First time you've been there, you don't even know how to get to it. You sold your book two and
Now,
a
it
half
wasn't
months
that
ago for to get a couple cases of beer, and so you show up and it's final day and you don't even know where the class is, and to make it worse, you're in your underwear because for some reason you thought it'd be okay to leave home in your jockey shorts and go walking among everybody. Have you never had that dream?
Oh, you're talking about a dream.
Oh, a dream.
I thought you were
Yeah.
doing the real
I
thing.
thought-
I thought,
No,
what
I
were
thought-
you doing?
I
I
thought,
don't
you know,
even
I-
want to hear this story.
I thought, well, I knew he was crazy when he was in college, but I didn't think he was that crazy.
You didn't tell us it was a
Dream.
dream.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we've all had that dream.
Yeah.
You're not prepared. I mean, not even close to being prepared for something.
Yeah. You're standing
And
out
you're in
there
your underwear.
and you're waiting for the bus.
You're in your underwear and you're thinking, well, for some reason I thought this was going to be okay. And
Yeah.
people are walking by looking at you. Next thing you know, Chief Blackwell comes
But
up to
oddly
you.
enough,
Click.
I see people on the streets in their pajamas,
Oh,
at
yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Which is kind of surprising to me.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new Peyton Manning commercial, Peyton on Sunday?
Oh, I have seen that, yes.
Yeah, he's in his pajamas.
He's in his bathrobe. There's the whole number.
Yeah.
And nobody
I
recognizes.
got a coupon
Yeah.
for this.
And nobody recognizes it. And that's the good part.
It's
yeah.
funny. He's still making that money, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
Still
All he has to
making
do
that
is walk in the door.
Yeah.
That's nice, isn't it?
So we had a great show with James Gregory. If you folks didn't come to South Jackson this past Saturday night to see the comedian James Gregory, I have not laughed that hard for that long in I don't know when.
That's great. I hope he'll come
And the
back.
whole audience, the whole crowd was like that. People were laughing till they were hurt.
That's good.
He is just absolutely hilarious. He is not nasty. He just talks about everyday type things.
That's really good.
He was talking about a funeral. He
He
said, I'm a Baptist. He said, I don't understand how anybody can burn someone and put it up on the shelf. He said, all we need some piece of the body and a bowl of potato salad, and we're going to have a funeral. He said, and you can always tell there's two conversations at the funeral. The guys are outside on the porch, and one old boy's going, I wonder what she's going to do with his truck.
Yeah, I bet you're right.
Hey, she can't drive it. It's a stick shift.
Yeah.
And it only got 18,000 miles on it. Boy, that's cherry shit. I'd like to have that truck. But, you know, she's tore up today. Ain't no way in the world I'm going to say anything to her. I believe I'll wait till tomorrow now.
Yeah, right.
And you go inside, and the women are sitting in there, and the conversation is, did you see what Lucy brought? She brought macaroni salad. If it had been on her side of the family, she'd have brought meat. Last month, when her uncle died, she came in and she said, I cooked a ham. She didn't cook that ham. That ham had pineapple and cherries on it. That's a Piggly Wiggly ham if I've ever seen one. She didn't cook that ham.
You just saved me $42.
But anyway, he was just hilarious, and it was all about just everyday stuff.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad it went over good.
He was great. He was really, really great. And you can tell when the good ones are that way, and it's timing. Mm-hmm. He would squeeze the audience
Till they just...
in anticipation till he dropped that line on them.
That's great.
And, you know, and that's what the great ones do.
Oh,
Their
yeah.
timing is impeccable.
Yeah.
Is he as funny as
That's why he
Jonathan
makes the big
Winters
bucks.
was?
Huh?
Is as funny as Jonathan Winters was?
Yeah, but in a different way.
I love
His
Jonathan
stuff
Winters.
is a little bit geared to the South.
The South and domestic issues and stuff
Right,
like that.
stuff in the South, and he's talking about flying on an airplane and different
I hope
things.
people will come Saturday night to South Jackson.
Gary Morris.
Gary Morris.
Yeah, we'll have a little bit on Gary here a little bit later on again in the show. But Wind Beneath My Wings, the one guy who was a superstar on Broadway in Nashville and also Broadway in New York. So we'll talk a little bit about that later on. Right now, we need to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with the rest of today's show. Don't go away.
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do, you know.
Everyday Miracles at Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and this is our segment we call Police Pointers, and Tullahoma Police Chief Paul Blackwell is joining us today, and he says he's got a dynamite topic he's going to talk about today, something that's going to be very interesting. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know if
How are you,
dynamite's
Paul?
the right word, but I'm doing very well. I'm doing very well.
And you're going to try to embarrass me with this issue today?
No, it's just kind of like we have this unwritten, try to stump each other with a question, you know. And
Right.
so far we've, I think, been very good about being able to answer the questions.
That's true.
In fact, I was at the game the other night. the coffee pot game, and a lady came up and said, "I see you on TV, you and Jimmy all the time, and I just watch." And so it's good to hear those things. Of course, you have used some examples of people that have seen or heard something on this segment. And
yeah, believe it or not, actually, there's some interesting topics we talk about on this segment that are pretty relevant to everyday life in this town.
Well, and what we're going to talk about today is one of those where someone's going to sit back and scratch their head and say, "I didn't know."
Yeah,
and
I didn't know that.
It will. And in fact, I write newspaper articles every 2 weeks. And part of that is we print it and we put it in a binder at the police department so the officers can read it.
Right.
So they can also maybe pick up on something that they haven't experienced or they don't experience enough for it to become second nature.
Right.
So, they get to read all these articles, and they were reading my latest article, and the couple said, "Huh, I didn't know that."
I didn't know that.
So,
Okay.
it's like, well, I'm glad to hear that, and I think your response will probably be the same. I titled this article that was in Sunday's paper, "Up, Up, and Away." And really what it talks about are sky lanterns and balloons. Do you know what a sky lantern is?
Yes.
It's kind of like a kite made of paper, and it's got a candle inside, and the candle heats the air up, which raises the lantern into the air.
I thought they were actually illegal, but maybe not.
There you go. They are illegal.
Oh, okay.
Those can only be flown by a licensed pyrotechnic person.
And you can sort of see why.
And they equate it to the problems with the environment, with a fire hazard, and with livestock.
Right.
So all those things, I think you can see. That lantern goes up, the candle goes out, and the lantern, the kite, eventually is going to fall, and it becomes litter, and it could end up who knows where.
So how do those things work? I don't know that I actually seen one, but
well, they're actually made like a kite, that thin paper.
Okay.
And different designs, but it's pretty much enclosed, and then there's a little candle in it.
And is that what makes it rise?
You light the candle, and it heats the air and makes it rise, and then it gets up into the wind stream and gets carried.
So could maybe I get a pass for just a couple of hours to try that?
No. You
Okay.
Go get you a pyrotechnic person. But we've had events that people use those,
right,
and they probably don't know that they're not supposed to do that.
Right.
Because the fear is the litter. The candle burns out. There may be some of the candle left. So then you have livestock that may eat the candle, eat the metal that holds the candle, eat the paper itself, or it could be a fire hazard. If the candle's still going, it could set something on fire.
Sure.
Because you can't control where they're going.
Right.
So the fire marshal has outlawed those things.
Yeah.
Now, that was not the one that tried to stump you, because you got that. But what about balloons?
Yeah.
How many balloons are you allowed to let go in the air?
Oh, I'd have to guess. I have no idea.
Well, just take a guess and let's see.
10.
Okay. State law says you cannot let more than 25 balloons go up in the air in one day.
No kidding.
No kidding, I'm telling you. And now, the exception is if it's a biodegradable balloon. I don't know I've ever seen one.
I started to say, I don't know that I have
either. And they
either.
define that as a balloon that within several minutes, I don't know what several minutes is, of exposure to the air or to water will degrade. So I don't know what several minutes, but I had never seen one of those.
Right.
And of course, then you have the non-biodegradable balloons that you fill with helium and let them go, and you never know where they end up.
And the limit is 25.
25
in one day.
In one day. And the same thing because of the litter, the not fire hazard, but livestock concerns, and you can't control where they go.
Right.
Now, do you know how much the fine is for each balloon beyond 25?
$161.
$250.
Oh, goodness.
For each balloon beyond 25 in the same day. So, if you're going to release balloons, 25 balloons is all you need to. Now, we, the police, aren't going to go out and be the balloon police.
Right.
But somebody, I mean, it's a state law. If someone
and
pushed
you can
it,
see it's an environmental hazard.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. And if someone pushed it, we would almost have to enforce it.
I wonder if there are exceptions for certain events.
The exception is a weather balloon.
Yeah,
But
that's it.
That's it. And the other would be you have to get biodegradable balloons. And like I said, I don't know that I've ever seen a balloon that's advertised as biodegradable.
So if at a football game or a major event where people are releasing hundreds of those, we're assuming those are biodegradable.
Well, I would not think, maybe that's that wrong assumption, you know.
Yeah,
we
right.
know what an assumption does.
Right.
But, you know, if you're releasing hundreds of those, and I would guess biodegradable balloons are probably going to cost more than non-biodegradable.
Right.
So I would be surprised if they're releasing more, you know, biodegradable balloons. Because most people, just like yourself, don't know that.
I had no idea there was such a law.
So if you know, and we have a lot of events. Churches have, you know, Vacation Bible School. That's always a big event to write something on a balloon and let it go to see where it lands, and
Right.
you know, and or you go to a memorial for somebody and they're releasing balloons into the air.
Right.
Need to be cautious of that.
$250 fine
for
it.
each balloon beyond 25.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't know it until a couple years ago when, you know, we, in some kind of conversation it came up. So, and I felt I didn't have the answer, so I had to go research it.
Right.
But it is a state law that's on the books, and it's not an old, you know, 100 years ago type law that's been pushed aside, but it's
good information to know,
it's
though.
good information. The next time you're at an event and someone wants to release balloons, keep that in mind. 25. I don't know who's going to come out and enforce.
I don't know, but I'll do like the guy over in Shelbyville, and I'll say, you know, the Tullahoma police chief said. I saw it on TV.
Can't have more than
That's
25
right.
balloons released in a day.
Right.
That's, yeah.
Good information. Okay.
And it may not mean anything to anybody.
Right.
But it's one of those that someday you may be faced with, let's let the kids release balloons, and someone may say, well, wait a minute, we can only release 25 balloons.
Yeah.
Or they may say, let's do these sky lanterns because they're pretty neat. No, you can't do the sky lanterns.
Yeah.
I hear them in the back discussing things back here. So
Yeah, because they're probably going to try this.
They're
Because
probably.
I don't know that I ever really wanted to try a sky lantern until you told me it was illegal.
Well, when I
realize
saw
they're-
some for the first time, they were pretty neat.
Yeah.
I mean, it was enjoyable to watch them. But then, of course, in the back of your mind, you're thinking, well, where are those things going to land at? I mean, you don't know where they're going.
Yeah.
Same thing with balloons. You know, you write your name on it and Tullahoma, Tennessee, and you hope somebody in who knows where finds your balloon.
Right.
And lets you know where it went to. But, yeah, you can only do 25 of them.
No telling what you'll learn on this.
Well, that's the whole intent of it, isn't it?
Exactly.
Not to know what you're going to learn. So you got to listen in to. Oh, I see a question from the peanut gallery.
Is that per event or per person?
Per event. So 25 balloons in one day. It says specifically in the statute for every balloon beyond that in a given day is $250.
Okay, so you asked me a question, I got it wrong.
No, you didn't get it wrong. You just had not been exposed to it yet.
Maybe so.
So, you know, you're okay. You know, this is a learning experience. You'll always remember.
So now I
25.
get to ask you a question, right?
Go ahead. How much time? We have 53 seconds.
Okay, we've got 50 seconds. Do you know how far you have to be from an airport to fly a drone?
5 miles. 5 mile radius.
Son of a gun, he knew that. Who knew that? Congratulations to you, Chief. You're right on top
And
of
we
things.
continue on.
And you know what? Quite frankly, I am glad you got that because I actually didn't remember. I knew there was some regulation relative to that, but I did not know.
It's a 5 mile radius.
Okay, all right. So from my office on Washington Street, I can't be flying
Pretty
a
much
drone.
anywhere in Tullahoma
Yeah,
is
right.
is included in
Yeah,
that radius.
that's right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good information, Paul.
Enjoyed it.
All right. Thank you very much.
And what do we say? Tune in next time.
Tune in next time. You'll never know. We've got so many topics actually that Paul and I were talking last time he was on. We were right in the middle of the segment, and we thought of something that'd really be good, and now neither one of us can read it, can remember it rather, and we haven't had time to go back and look at the tape and
That's
see
right.
what that was.
That'll be a topic one day for discussion.
That's right. Folks, we'll be right back in just a moment with more living right after this.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
And I'm Jacob. I'm the Rooster.
And I'm the Red Maid. And we would like to welcome you to
Roosterware.
Yes, Roosterware is a cottage industry producing accessories for men, women, children, babies, and pets. All items are hand cut and sewn locally. Roosterware specializes in bow ties, pocket squares, scarves, cufflinks, neckties, and aprons of all sizes for all ages. Baby products include onesies, diaper covers, bibs, and burp pads. All bow ties, tie it yourself or pre-tied, come with an adjustable neckband. All products can be made with the material of your choice, as special orders are available upon request. Don't be standing back looking at fashion. Create your own with Roosterware.
Come visit us at
roosterandredmaiden.com
to find our handcrafted designs for
the cock of the walk.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Rickman, and this is
Pat Welch with number 7 of the Conversations with John and Pat. John, what have you got for us today?
Well, maybe I can do better than I did the week before. Missed the words on a few things, but maybe I can get through this one.
Well, that just...
all my songs are wordy, seems like.
Yeah, and it doesn't hurt to be human.
Yeah.
In fact, we're a little bit more human than a lot of humans.
That's right. Here it is. Saturday summers when I was a kid, go to the schoolyard and here's what we did. We'd pick out the captains, choose up the teams. It was always a measure of my self-esteem, 'cause the fastest, the quickest played shortstop and first. The last to get picked were the worst. I never asked, I just knew it was sealed. I just took up my place in right field. Playing right field is easy, you know. You can be awkward, you can be slow. That's why I'm here in right field, watching the dandelions grow. Playing right field can be boring and dull. Little leagues never have lefties that pull, but a dream of the day when it came my way, but it never did. Still I would pray I'd make a fantastic catch on the run and not lose the ball in the sun. Then I'd awake from this long revelry and just pray that that ball never come out to me. Here in right field, it's easy, you know. You can be awkward, you can be slow. That's why I'm here in right field, watching the dandelions grow. Then somebody hollers to me, "Hey, wake up out there! catching. Off in the distance, the game's dragging on. There's strikes on the batter, some runners are on. I don't know the inning, I've forgotten the score. The whole team is yelling, but I don't know what for. Suddenly, everyone's looking at me. My mind has been wandering, what can it be? They point to the sky and I look up above as a baseball drops into my glove. Hot dog! Playing right field. It's important, you know. You gotta know how to catch. You gotta know how to throw. That's why I'm here in right field, watching the dandelions grow. Knock it out here, sucker!
John, you handled that a whole lot better in that song 2 weeks ago where you lost the words.
You can't be good every day. You can't be good all the time.
Well, you were exceptional this morning.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. But singing about baseball makes us think about sports in Tullahoma.
Just get baseball cranked up right now in Tullahoma?
You know who it makes me think of almost first off is Jackie Revis. Another is Jerry Mathis. I know Chris played Little League Baseball, and he played on the state championship Little League baseball team, then on the high school baseball team.
I believe that was Tullahoma's first state champion.
It may have been.
Yeah.
It may have been. I'm really not sure. But Jackie Revis was coaching. Charles Riddle was the coach, and I think Jackie the manager. I can't remember how it went. But Chris, when he was a 9-year-old, I remember down here at Cascade Field, I'm working up in the press box. We're supposed to be, every parent has their day up in the press box. Here I was. Chris had not been playing real long. Well, he's 9-year-old. And big 12-year-old gets up and hits a pop fly out into right field, and I think to myself, oh, Lord, I hope he can catch that ball. And he didn't only catch it, he caught it and then threw behind the runner and caught the man off at first base. And I thought maybe he's going to make a ball player. And so many memories. I'll often think of just how the gloves smell, you know, the leather smell of a glove. And
the grass when it's just been cut.
Grass just when it's been cut. And so many things about baseball that's so interesting.
You talking about Little League and the song being about out in the outfield. One of the things that makes it tough when you're young and out in the outfield in Little League is normally the better teams have got a big 12-year-old pitcher, and if there's 18 outs and there's going to be about 16 strikeouts, and the ball's not in play very much, and a guy gets in his 2 innings in mandatory play, and he's sitting out there in the outfield, and the ball just being thrown between the pitcher and the catcher, he's going to get bored. You were talking about being in the press box one night. I was in the press box joking with the announcer, and I haven't checked it to clear it with this gentleman, so I won't bring his name
you won't
up.
Use his name?
No, sir.
All right.
He was 9 years old, and he was in left field, and he was getting really bored. And in between pitches, his gloves started being thrown up, and he'd catch it, and he'd run around and picked up. But the best was between the pitch, he went from his normal position where he was and ran towards the fence, and then jumped up and caught a fake ball above the fence and got back before. But that was really a fun, humorous Little League memory for me.
Well, so many things come to mind taking these trips with kids, you know, from time to time. I remember the time when Jackie Revis and a group, we went to Manchester, and it was Manchester National Little League. And Jackie put me in charge the next game. We got beat by a close score. And the next game, he put me in charge, and I think Jim Waters was with me, and another fella couldn't be there, so I wound up being the head coach the next time we played this very same team. And we'd gotten beat with Jackie there. So, Jackie's, he's hyper, how Jackie is, and I said, I think I'm going to try a different strategy this time. I'm just going to be calm. I'm going to be very calm in the dugout. I'm going to just let things go the way that I tape the plays. Jackie had told me what signals to use and things like that, so I taped that to my wrist. And you know, our boys wound up beating them 21-0 the next time we played them. And Jackie calls me, how'd y'all do last night? Jackie, you won't believe this. We beat them 21-0. What? You did? 21-0. Oh, man, that's a wonderful memories. But Jackie was a great baseball coach. I mean, he taught so many good fundamentals to the kids. And then Jerry Mathis, you know, took them a little farther with the high school ball. And then Jackie, of course, helped. And Craig has won a championship, a state championship over at Laverne.
That's correct. He's at Siegel now, but he won it at Laverne, and Jackie won a state championship at Franklin County, and that leads into a little story I had on him. This would have been in 65, 66 range. In Grider Stadium that we're refurbishing now, the city is, and rightly so. It was, when it was first built, now there was nobody that had any kind of facility like that, and we were hosting the TWSAA state tournament, and at that time the format had 4 teams, much like the Final Four in basketball they're getting ready to play, and Franklin County was in it, and this was Jackie's one of his first teams over there, I believe, and they had some really, really, really good players. And I don't want to go into who they all were because I'd miss somebody, but I'll bring up one at the end of the story. And Jackie was favored, and he had everything planned minutely how this was all going to work out to where they were going to win, and somehow they got beat in the first game. Mm-hmm. It's a double elimination 4-team tournament, and Jackie just went completely off. He would always, at the end of the game, you would go to the foul line of whatever dugout you were in, and I believe that supposedly he was on the third base line, so they were out behind third base, and they always prayed first, and then he'd go over the baseball. Well, they hadn't sooner finished a fine prayer before he lit into them, just went on and on and on, that high squeaky voice, just ranting and raving. Well, Philip Fulmer, the UT football ex-coach, was a catcher. He was a great catcher on that team, and they said he finally got his hand up where Coach was letting somebody else talk, and he said, "What do you need, Philip?" And he said, "Coach, if you'll just settle down, we'll come back and win this thing." And it really took Jackie. Well, I guess so. You better. And he went home and mapped out every inning of the pitching that they would have to go through to win so many more games now if they were in a loser's bracket. And as he said, we did it.
That's a good story, Pat. We've got so many that we'll try to get out.
Yeah.
So many songs we'll try to get through.
And they're showing that we're done, John, and that concludes segment number 7 of Conversations with John and Pat. But it is not the last of the conversations if management will comply with us.
We get closer to a world with more birthdays when we take cancer patients by the hand. We help them find answers and guidance and hope, and give them more candles to light. We're the American Cancer Society. Help create a world with more birthdays at morebirthdays.com.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
All right, folks, welcome back. I'm pleased to have Kenny Delaney here with me today, and we're going to talk about the Cancer Walk.
Sure, absolutely.
What's your position with this? It says director right there.
That's right. I'm actually on the board of directors. There are 12 of us, and there's a president, vice president, treasurer, and secretary as well. So there's a group of 16.
Of what? What's the group? What?
Multi-County Cancer Support Network.
See, I wanted you to get the name. I
Absolutely.
knew, but they need to.
Multi-County, we're a 501c3,
Right.
so we're totally nonprofit, just here to serve.
And how many counties do you serve?
We serve 8 counties, actually, and I brought my list just so I don't ever forget it. We serve Bedford, Coffee, Franklin, Grundy, Lincoln, Marion, Moore, and Warren counties.
Very good.
So
Very good.
all the money that we receive, it stays local to help families in those 8 counties.
Right. And, you know, a lot of times we have, and I'll make a little plug right here if that's okay.
Sure.
You have groups, you have the American Cancer Society, the American this, the American that. I know I'm a veteran. I get stuff from the American Legion of America. Keep your money local, because a lot of the times when you donate to those national organizations, very little of it filters back home.
Very true. Very true.
And so when you have a group like this that Kenny's involved with, that is a actual local organization that does these things locally that the national groups say they're going to do for you, it actually happens with you folks.
True.
The money stays local.
Absolutely.
Now, how do you raise money for your operations? Give us some of the ways that you raise money.
Well, the most prominent way that we raise money is our once-a-year walkathon, and that's what's actually coming up on September 9th.
Boy, we got you here just at the right time.
Absolutely. But we receive memorials, donations just from families, from people who have passed away. There's a lot of just everyday donations from anybody. There's also a Fabulous 50s event that goes on over in Fayetteville once a year, I think in March. And all the proceeds from that event actually come to Multi-County.
Very good.
There's a 5K walk later, I think it's in early October, I believe, this year. And then just...
But the walkathon is the event. I know my wife has been involved. She's a cancer survivor, and she's been on the board of Multi-County at one point.
Cool.
And I know we've been involved in that for years. And it's at the track in Winchester still.
You're exactly right.
And that's where the old high school was.
Right, the old
which
Franklin County High
It's
School.
gone now. That building's not there anymore.
Well, they call it the Annex Building or something. There's still some building there, but
the
I wasn't there back then to know what used to be.
The big brick building's gone, but it's where the old football field was at Franklin County. And one of the things that the bleachers are still there, so there's places for people to sit. One of the things I like is the Survivors Walk.
Yes.
And of course, there are bags around the track, right?
Yes, luminaries.
The luminaries that are lit, and we get to do that because they don't go up in the air.
That's exactly right.
And they're biodegradable because they're made out of paper.
And we actually have a recycling group that comes and picks all those up and picks up the kitty litter that we use to weight those down.
Candles,
and so all that actually gets recycled anyway. So
very good.
Win-win.
Very good. Yeah, win-win situation. But it's very inspiring to be there for the Survivors Walk and see the bags lit up at night and to see the teams. You know, people have teams that they come over there and they'll have tents and sleeping bags, and different organizations have groups and they walk continuously. People are walking with certain teams that want to be represented there.
That's exactly
to
right.
honor those who have passed away, and to respect those who are fighting cancer and other diseases right now.
Yes, church groups, business groups, and even just families can call our office and form their own team and set up a tent. We actually have a tent decorating contest now.
Oh, really?
Where we
cool.
we have judges every year that go around to all the tents and just figure out, try to decide who has done the most above and beyond effort for their tents. So there's quite a few new things going on.
And there's food?
Absolutely. We have a really big concession stand. We have barbecue, hot dogs, a lot of different items that people can come and have dinner. That's one way to support us. It's free. The whole event is open to the public.
Right.
Anybody that just drives by on the street can drop on in, walk a lap or two, get affected, get the feeling that
eat something because you make money when they eat
support
something.
us by having dinner there. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's plenty of water there to make sure people are hydrated and all of those.
And it's in the
things.
evening, and it's in mid-September, so it's usually really fair weather. It's just the perfect time of the year. For
Yeah,
it.
and there have been some years that we did that it was actually pretty cold.
Absolutely, yeah. We've worn a
So
jacket
kind of
before,
chilly
my wife and
at
I.
night and all of that. So it's a wonderful event. Sometimes I know they played a couple of my songs over there at one point.
Cool.
There's music going on most of the time, isn't there?
Yes.
Speaker system.
Yes.
And then do you have people who actually make speeches or make talks?
Yeah, we have a really
during the
special
time?
part of the night. 9 o'clock is our candlelight service.
Right.
And what we do then is we actually shut out all of the stadium lights. Prior to that, we ask that everybody have their seats and all that. But we shut out all the lights, and usually a preacher or somebody, with an inspirational message gives a little bit of a talk about cancer and how it relates to, everyday life. And during that time, you see all of the luminaries that line the track, and then perhaps the most special part, even the most overwhelming part, is in the very middle of the football field. There's what we call a circle of light, and that circle of light is made up of these luminary bags lit up with candles in them that actually represent all of the cancer victims who have actually passed away since our last walkathon. And so when you think about the reality of what all of these things represent, it's really emotional, it's overwhelming, but it really lifts you up to realize that, hey, look at all these survivors that are here. That's the whole point of it. Celebrate.
That's it. Do something. Do something.
Like
we said earlier today, do something.
That's right.
Don't just sit and do nothing. Do something.
Something is better than nothing.
And and exercise is great. And go walk. Go take a walk and go feel what it's like to be with some of these families that are surviving their loved ones who passed away. Know what it feels like to walk beside someone who has survived cancer, and the conversations that are had during that time are different than conversations you will hear anywhere else, and it's reality. And,
it's a lot of special people with a lot of special messages, and just sharing what they've learned and sharing what they've gone through. And it's a lot of like-minded people that, when brought together, I mean, it's a wealth of information, it's a wealth of inspiration. It's just a really fun event to attend as far as conversations go.
You're to be appreciated and thanked for your involvement and everybody else with your group.
Absolutely.
We've supported Multi-County for years and years. We will continue to. Anytime you ever need anything, all you got to do is email or call.
Yes.
You're always welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
All right, folks, we'll be right back after these messages.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Tired of paying for monthly telephone service, expensive long-distance bills, and all those crazy taxes? Are you sick of spending money on telephone equipment, maintenance contracts, and service calls, all for a phone system that shackles you to 100-year-old technology and your desk? Stop it. It's time to ship your phone system to the cloud. What can the cloud do for you? Bring together remote offices, workers, and employees in the field. Make sure that you'll never miss calls by delivering them to multiple devices. Modernize faxing by allowing multiple faxes to be sent and received at once and delivered to email. Get your voicemail messages instantly through email too. And take advantage of an endless supply of customizable features. Host My Calls can deliver the cloud. All of this technology with low upfront costs and not one penny in capital expense. It's time for a phone solution you'll truly love from Host My Calls. Call the number below.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
You know, folks, we were talking earlier about the fact that Gary Morris is going to be at South Jackson Civic Center. And we asked, there were 3 people in the studio, Kenny, April, and Chief Blackwell at that point. And Peggy asked all 3 of them, do any of y'all know who Gary Morris is? And none of them did. But they all knew the song Wind Beneath My Wings. So it made me think, and Peggy think, that, you know, there are a lot of people out there, when we say Gary Morris is going to be at South Jackson Civic Center, it might not seem that special to them. Well, what we're going to do right now is show you Gary Morris performing Wind Beneath My Wings, and then it might become special to you. He will be at South Jackson Civic Center this Saturday night, the 27th, and the show starts at 7:30. You can call South Jackson Civic Center at 931-581-5231 or email to go to the website to get your tickets, southjackson.org, tickets and reservations. So let's hear Gary Morris singing Wind Beneath My Wings.
In my shadow, never had sunlight on your face. You've been content to let me shine. A step behind. Well, I was the one with all the glory. Well, you were the one with all the strength. Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department. Need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
I'm glad you hung around. Excuse me, my nose itches. I've just been talking to the most wonderful person, April Norris from Winchester and principal at Bel Air for 3 years.
Yes.
Do you love it there?
I do love it there.
It's a sweet school.
I think
it really
it's the best school.
Well, of course.
Yes.
And today we're talking about something very special. You go ahead and tell us all about it.
What we did, Mike Cunningham and Tammy Cunningham with Southern Wheels in Motion, they have been fortunate enough to meet Betsy Mazzola, who is a personal friend of John Snyder, better known as Bo Duke.
Right.
Tammy approached me and asked, would it be okay if we did a drive?
Fundraiser or a drive,
yes,
sort of?
a drive to help the people of Louisiana, the flood victims. And of course, I felt like it was a wonderful idea.
It is a wonderful
Yes.
idea. And what is it, a week? Has it been a week now or is it longer?
No, it was an event that lasted a week. And so, and the way they got to know John Snyder was he came back in 2013 and he actually helped out and helped at the car show to raise money for some charities locally here. So when
Yes.
he put out the plea for...
He has done that a lot.
Yes,
He's a good man.
he's a very good man. For help for Louisiana, Bel Air and Southern Wheels in Motion raised over 1,000 items.
That's
and
wonderful.
it lasted only a week, but Saturday the U-Haul was loaded up, and then Betsy Mazzola, who graduated with Mike Cunningham, took the U-Haul down
to Louisiana and distributed the goods. How does that work?
Well, to a church in Denham Springs
Okay.
that he had asked for that place for the items to be
How
taken
did
to
the
that
children
place.
react to this project? How did you put it to them?
Tammy is actually the one that spearheaded the letter. She got it together, and she and Mike brought everything to Bel Air, and Tammy got the letter together, and the kids were wonderful. And so many times in society we see that people will just, give until it hurts. And it was very touching, as I was sharing with you earlier. Even some of the kids came in and gave personal items.
things that probably were really special to them.
Yes, yes.
And I think when a person can give up something that's close to their heart,
yes,
they're very involved, and I'm very touched by that.
I was too. You know, one little boy even came in the office and he had a little bag and he just brought it in and sat it on the counter, and we weren't sure, you know, exactly what it was, so we looked in it and he had one of his personal little footballs and a calculator.
Aww.
And just some things that you could tell he gathered up
was his
that
things. were
his very own things,
and that he loved.
It was very touching, and you know, the kids at Bel Air and the families just really gave, and it was very touching.
And so when you send stuff like that to help a city or a location, does everything have to be boxed or separated, or did you just send it off?
Well, they did box things up a certain way Saturday, actually at South Jackson Civic Center.
Oh, good.
The Southern Wheels in Motion, and then there were actually, I think, some family members. I know the Denby family, I think they met together and just, I don't know how everything ended up being organized. Betsy.
They probably
had some
labeled it in
specifics.
some way.
Yes.
Age appropriate and.
Yes, and it was personal hygiene items. There were some clothing items. There was food.
There's so much that's needed.
Yes,
Oh my goodness!
yes,
There are
'cause
people
they
who have
lost
lost
everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
And everybody's seen this on the news, but it's just tragic because so many of them moved out of the Katrina conflict.
Oh yeah.
Into this one, and now they've lost everything again.
Right.
It's tragic. I think that's a beautiful thing for your school to do.
Well,
and the fact that you supported and helped to ramrod it through, that's a great thing.
I appreciate that, but I cannot take the credit for it. It was the kids and their families, and you know, one thing that I'm just so proud of them, and I think, you know, Dr. Lawson has always talked about building character, and our teachers work hard to do that, but I just am so proud of them because building character and learning life lessons is one of the things that, you know, I hope they'll always take
I
with
agree,
them.
and I feel like it needs to be up there above all the else, because there's so many people in need in this world, and to learn to share what you have and give to others, that's important.
I agree.
You said about 300 and something students in your school. Did you find that every one of them pretty much participated?
I don't
in the
know
project?
for sure that everyone did, but you know, even if some didn't, I know they were very aware of the concept and what was going on, and you know, how being involved and what's going on, and the fact that Bel Air took part in it, and I think everyone got the idea of the character building and the giving and that lesson that was learned
Do you think there's going to be other trucks that go down to Louisiana? Are there still programs going on where people are to give?
Sure, I
Surely
think
there
so.
are.
Yes,
There probably
and I
are.
think too, you know, the talking about the devastation that's happened, and then seeing, you know, John Snyder has a page where a Facebook page where he's going in and
that's good.
Driving through and showing the devastation and what people have lost. So you know, even now the teachers can show the children, you know, this is where your items have been taken, so they can see,
So they
you
can
know,
see the value of
these
it.
people, you know, really need our help, and they can understand. Wow, you know, this is what we
real.
did
This
this
is
for.
real,
This is
and we
real.
did it, yeah.
Because sometimes they may think this is different from a flood that we've had here.
No, we don't even.
Yeah.
We're not even
we
in the
can't
ballpark.
understand
We
it.
can't
Right.
understand it. So we might go one day without electricity.
Right.
But they're without everything.
Yes.
And I often wonder if we are prepared here for such a disaster. It could happen, I'm assuming. You know, we never know.
It would be hard to be prepared for something like that.
I just don't think you can prepare.
The last time I was in New Orleans, there were still buildings that weren't
There'll be a long time
taken care of from Katrina, and now they have this devastation. So
and so this is thousands of people that are homeless right now.
Yes.
And anything a person is willing to give is very much needed.
Yeah. And animals as well,
I know, I think about that.
Yeah.
Someone had on Facebook, do you think that a person's animals should go to the shelter with you? Well, I do. Mm-hmm. The animals got to have a place to go too, but there's no telling how many animals have drowned or been lost, and lives have been lost.
Yes.
I so admire you, April, for pushing this project. I know you feel like you didn't have anything to do with it, but you had to agree to it, and you had to want to do it, and see the benefit from it.
I appreciate that, but it was Bel Air with another associate, the car club, and then it's easy to agree to something as worthwhile as that.
Exactly, and I would guess that this will be a life lesson that will follow these children the rest of their lives.
I hope so.
I think that it will.
I want to,
I think we might be out of time. I have zeros on the chart.
Well, that went by fast.
That was so fast. April, it's been lovely meeting you again.
So much. That was very easy.
Thank you for being a wonderful principal, and we'll be keeping our eyes on Bel Air. We'll be back with other things.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them, and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat. They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the Paint Works at 1960 North Washington Street, and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fixes you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and reluctantly, she visits me from time to time, a friend of mine. And when she does, it feels so real. A conversation with Jenny Beal from Life Care Center. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. Jenny doesn't like doing this very much, so we try to make it as comfortable as possible. But what Jenny's going to do right now is give us an idea about some of the upcoming events that are taking place at Life Care.
Yes, sir. We have a busy month in the month of September. Mm-hmm. For the first thing, actually, we are celebrating. We just had a zero deficiency survey.
Zero deficiency.
Yes.
Nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong. And we are now a 5-star building.
All right, when you say you're a 5-star building, that is a rating from 1 to 5. 5 is the top.
Yes.
And who gives you this rating?
Medicare does.
Oh, so Medicare.
And it's a rating they give really just for the consumer's benefit. It's to help them tell which facilities are doing better and which ones probably need to work a little bit harder.
And 5's the best.
And 5's the best.
And Life Care of Tullahoma is 5.
It's a 5.
It's the best.
Yes.
0 deficiencies and 5.
Yes.
So 0 is the best as far as deficiencies are concerned.
Absolutely.
And 5 is the best as far as Medicare is concerned. So you got them both.
Yes, we
Why
did.
would you want to go anywhere else?
I know.
Particularly with what she's getting ready to tell you is going to be going on. What is going on? Fun things?
A lot of fun things. First of all, September is going to be a very busy month, but we are getting ready right now for our Alzheimer's Walk. So on September 10th, we're going to start off at South Jackson. It'll start off probably about 9 o'clock.
Okay.
And we'll do our Alzheimer's Walk. And I love it because this year, Travis, our administrator, is going to let us bring some of our residents out.
Oh,
so
good.
they are very excited, yes. So they get to come and join us. There's going to be lots of vendor booths. There'll be a jumpy jump if you have kids that want to come out. Yeah, it's a fun time for all.
Good, good. Now, then I think you said that was when? The 10th?
September 10th. Mm-hmm.
Now, what happens, one of my favorite things, on the 15th?
September 15th is our annual senior prom.
Boy, that's fun.
Yes, yes, we love it. It is a huge to-do with our residents. They all look forward to it every year. We have professional photographers come in, music. We get attire for the residents. Some of them don't have prom dresses or suits and things like that. So we gather, a lot of people donate a lot of those clothes throughout the year to help us. But we get them all dressed up. They get to have their professional picture taken.
Hair done, nails done.
Nails. They have fine dining. But my favorite part is at every table, and I love how Life Care does this, we did it last year, is there's an actual picture of the resident at their senior prom. Sitting at their table. If they had one. If not, maybe pictures of them back in that era. When their prom would have been.
And I remember one gentleman there last year he was a very distinguished fella, and he was a military, and he had his dress uniform on with all of his ribbons and medals, and he was a very decorated soldier. And he was just so proud. And I would be proud if I could get in my stuff that I wore, but I can't. But he just looked magnificent. Of course, they all look magnificent.
Yes.
And there's a king and a queen of the prom selected.
Yep, we
and
vote
there's
king
dancing.
And queen. Mm-hmm.
It's just more fun to go to the senior prom at Life Care, where all the seniors are.
Yep.
The real true seniors.
Yep. And the community is always welcome to come in and experience it with us and maybe dance with one of the residents. And they really love it.
Last year.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, I did. And then after that, what's next?
On September 28th, we are going to have our health fair.
Okay.
So Life Care puts on a big health fair. We have a lot of vendors come in and set up booths. So you'll have home health agencies, hospice agencies, durable medical equipment, just different array of services geared toward seniors.
There are probably some insurance people there that help you find the proper type of extra coverages and stuff like that. Probably investment people there. There's just a big array of just different people that come. We do blood pressure checks, blood sugar checks. Our physical therapists will have their balance machine out, so we do a full assessment on what balance issues you may have and what kind of risk you are for a fall and what kind of exercises you can do to try to help that. There's a lot of different services offered. Well, in Life Care of Tullahoma, and the Life Care systems, a lot of people think, oh, well, that's where you go to die.
No,
but that's where you go. Not that. Of course, a lot of people will end their life while they're in the facility. But it's not because they came there to pass away.
Oh, no.
There are a lot of people who get out of surgery and need can't go home right then and need to rehabilitate. Life Care has a great physical therapy and rehabilitation department there.
And we also have outpatient therapy.
Right.
So if a patient is in need of therapy and maybe not as extensive as to be an inpatient, that they can go home and they can do most of their ADLs, then we have outpatient available to them as well. Yeah, our therapists have over 150 years experience, so they're highly recommended, they're highly trained and educated, so yeah, it's definitely just not a place for end of life.
And this health fair, folks, you need to think about it. You know, if you're in your 50s, your 60s, you know, it's not just for decrepit old people. You know, we all change as we get older, and we all need help in trying to figure out what we're going to do to be comfortable and well cared for as we continue to live. And so you can go over there, even if you're still living in your own home, why not take advantage of people who can assess you, look at you, help you with either financial things or health things or physical therapy type things, any of it. It's for all of us. This health fair is not just for old decrepit people.
It's for
us
planning
young
purposes.
Decrepit people.
Yeah, right. But it's a planning.
Sure it is.
I mean, we have a lot of young folks that come through there that are their parents are getting older. They're trying to figure out and prepare for the future on what happens if mom can't stay by herself and that kind of thing. So it's a big planning fair.
And their own future as well, because it's a whole lot cheaper to plan now and do it when you're young and start things when you're young.
Yes.
Than it is to wait till you're my age and try to start, because it's hard to start when you're there.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
Jenny Beal, Life Care. Now, see, wasn't that easy? It wasn't as hard as you thought. She's so good. I just love it when Jenny comes. Folks, when you need help, think about Life Care. They're there for you. They're zero deficiency. They're 5-star rated by Medicare. Doesn't get any better than that. And they're right here in Tullahoma. They've served my family and other families here very well for a long time. Life Care, Tullahoma. We'll be right back.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
We got 30 seconds here, and Peggy, come up here right quick. No, Peggy, don't come up here right quick. I guess I'm going to close by myself then? No, I'm not closing. Gary Morris, we're going to see an interview we did 3 weeks ago with Gary Morris when he was in Colorado, and Gary Morris is going to be at South Jackson Civic Center this Saturday night, 7:30. Give us a call or email. Get those tickets. Gary Morris. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited today. You know, one of the things that I get to do from time to time is interview folks that are coming to our town, coming to South Jackson Civic Center. And on August the 27th, Gary Morris, that's right, the Gary Morris, wind beneath my wings, Gary Morris, is going to be in Tullahoma, Tennessee, and we have him on screen with us. He's in Colorado this morning, and we are FaceTiming Gary from Colorado. Good morning, Gary Morris. There he is.
Good morning. I'm glad to be with you this morning.
This is just a wonderful pleasure for me to have someone of your stature on the show with us, and knowing that you're coming to Tullahoma to do a show here on the 27th of August.
Well, it's my pleasure. I've been doing performing arts centers, and I love the kind of venues. I love the fact that people come to listen, and I'm excited about being there in Tullahoma.
Well, you know, you've done so many things, from country music. You've been on Broadway in Nashville. You've been on Broadway in New York. from Les Mis to what La Boheme. What was your first venture into Broadway, New York?
It was a public theater. Joseph Paps has already done Pirates of Penzance, and she done. I don't know if she'd done anything else in New York, but there was an open call, and to tell you the truth, I didn't really want to do it, but I thought eventually I went up and sang for them, and they gave me the role of Rodolfo, and it was fun. I had a good time.
You're doing this tour that you're doing right now. Explain to us a little bit what we might expect to see. Is this one man? Are you going around by yourself and accompanying yourself? Or are you bringing what are you bringing with you as you come to these small venues?
When I come to Tullahoma, I'll bring 3 guitars, and it'll be me and my guitars. It's an evening of acoustic music. It'll be songs that I've recorded, and as a singer-songwriter, it'll be some songs that maybe they haven't heard. It'll be some songs I sang in a Southern Baptist church growing up, and some stuff that I did on Broadway.
Very good. In reading and preparing myself for this interview, 2 things that I found very interesting. One was your involvement with the Tretyakov Museum in Russia. I think you're getting ready for a trip over there before you come to see us, aren't you?
I leave in 2 days. I'm going to go float a river this time. When I was there before, I was in Moscow, and the purpose of the concert was to try to save the art. It was this museum, or this art gallery, housed some icons from the 12th, 13th, 14th century, and they were walking out the back door. So it was. I was asked by Ruth Harkin, her husband, Senator Tom Harkin from Iowa, if I could do an evening's music, and they raised $1 million, and it was there to basically secure what was some priceless treasures. So this next trip, I'm just going to be floating a river. I'm going fishing. I'm going to be fly fishing up in the northeast province of Russia. I'll be there on the river for 7 days.
Well, and that was going to be my next question. Your involvement in fly fishing and you being a sportsman, I noticed you have an involvement with veterans, of which I'm a veteran, and I care greatly about veterans and their cause and their needs, and that you have developed a fishing program to help in a healing process with some of our veterans.
It's called Healing Waters, and what we do is we take our veterans, our injured veterans, and we take them fly fishing, and we introduce them to the sport, and we take our veterans who've suffered from traumatic brain injury to loss of limb, and we put them in rivers, and we give them the gift of fly fishing. And healing power of nature is just unequal. In fact, a gentleman in Dallas started his own chapter of Healing Waters, and it's a great organization, a sport that I love, and transfer some of that love and healing to our veterans.
Well, thank you very much, sir, for that, because these folks who stand on the wall and protect our freedom certainly don't need to be left behind, and anything that can be done to help the healing process for these folks is a job well done, and we all appreciate what you're doing in that regard.
Thank you.
The small venue tour that you're going through right now, you know, a lot of these small civic centers and auditoriums are wonderful stages, small stages that have great acoustics, some of them, and a lot of the folks are coming down, particularly to South Jackson, enjoy playing our theater because of the great sound it has and the small setting. And are you finding that enjoyable to do as you travel around the country and go to some of these smaller venues?
I love playing venues up to 800 seats, And I love playing those. Even an 800-seater would be. It's like playing in a huge living room, and it's real intimate, and you feel like they're part of what you're doing, and you're part of their lives too. It's my favorite thing to do.
Well, like our theater seats about 400 comfortably, and you can see every face in there. And every face in there can see you and feel close to you, and I agree with you. It's a very enjoyable thing to do. We're getting ready to have our country show that we do every year. We do a 3-day country show. This is our 37th year, and I MC that, and it's just a joy to be on the small stage and see, particularly the young people who get up on that stage and fall in love with it.
You know, what's not to love? You can hear yourself sing. I've always said since the very beginning of my career, I'd rather play somewhere where I can reach out and touch people. I'll probably come down a day early, maybe see if there's any smallmouth fishing or anything around there.
Well, there's some very, very, very good fishing here. We have Tullahoma. There's 3 lakes right here around Tullahoma: Timms Ford, Woods Reservoir, and Normandy Lake. And there is some wonderful smallmouth fishing here. A lot of people come here just for that. So you let me know what you need. I'll set you up with a guide, and we'll get you fixed up if that's what you want to do. All right. Well, Gary Morris, we appreciate your time today. We're very much looking forward to seeing you in August. And be safe and catch what you need to over there in Russia. And come back to us safe. And we'll be looking forward to the show. All right, man. Thank you, sir.
Couple of weeks.
All right. Well, folks, that was Gary Morris right there coming to us from Colorado. We had a couple of issues with the connection and the picture and all of that, but how wonderful is that to have someone of that talent, be on the air with us, and he will be at South Jackson Civic Center on August the 27th. You can call and get your tickets right now. They're already selling at 455-5321. And we'll be right back after these messages.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, we're back.
We're back, and time goes so fast.
But time always goes fast when you're having fun. We've had some great guests today.
I'm so proud of the Bel Air School for collecting.
Doing what they did.
That was really nice. And the Wheels in Motion.
There you go. That's right. Well, one thing we want to remind you, this Friday night in Tullahoma, Franklin County is coming to town, bringing their football team over here, which is another great rivalry. And want to make sure you get to Wilkins Stadium for that ball game. Don't forget the John Olive Show on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. Replay Saturday night and Sunday afternoon.
And don't forget.
See you at South Jackson Civic Center.
Saturday night.
Saturday night. Bye, folks.